Pasha Pyro, Y7, Big Board Pep for my peeps. Welcome back. Alright, so got some updates on DarkPulse, and let's take a look. So I snapped a shot earlier. It was at 11.69. So then I started to do a little, you know me, I'm always looking into stuff. So I started looking into what's going on currently and got a good bit of detail for you. So let's take a look and see what we got here. So yesterday, they secured like another 750,000, right? And in a loan form, which you may feel like they're coming across like a lot of loans and stuff. And you may be like, man, what's going on with them? But actually, it's really a good thing, because when you look into it, if you've been wondering why, you know, that may be, they're actually been clearing up a bunch of what they call toxic debt, and it was, you know, brought on by the previous administration and stuff. And per their accounts, there's like only 3 that remain. So they've had like a bunch of toxic debts. They've been working and paying them off and getting them removed from the situation, right? And maybe some of that's actually like a trade for trade. Bring in a new creditor, you get rid of the old bad terms, and you sit in a better situation. So that's pretty good opportunities for them. And then overall, like, they just had an announcement, and they gave you what they actually had, like, you know, accomplished so far this year. And when you look at the list, it's pretty substantial. I mean, so on top of clearing out the toxic debt, they been on an acquisition frenzy, right? And then so they just copped Optilan, and they got them. They're like for the global infrastructure, you know, they're on that kick right now. And the company has some of their bullet points is the company has begun work on a new, more integrated system offering, and they anticipate these additional equipment offerings to enter the market first quarter 2022, right? So the company is building a demonstration facility in Ohio for its system with Gracon, right, for its BOTDA system, BOTDA. That's what all this is about originally. So then the company added, well, in its last run anyway, not the origins, but the company added Dr. Joseph Catalino, excuse me if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, as Chief Strategy Officer. Company appointed Ken Davison as Chief Operating Officer. Company also appointed Mr. Rick Gibson as Director of Strategic Initiatives. And the company partnered with, so I mean, that's when they're talking about the previous administration or leadership, right, have brought on some toxic debts and stuff that got the companies in the company, not to say in a terrible position, but in a position where they found that they can make it better. You know, you're looking at this Chief Strategy Officer, Chief Operating Officer, and Director of Strategic Initiatives coming on board within the last 8 months, and you're looking for you know, that's a great dynamic, because you're bringing in new leadership, which gives the company a new ability to advance on its goals, right? Sometimes it's best to have a person on a third party looking on the stuff. That's why you get mediation. You know, that's why you get consultation. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is a really good move, and it's already starting to showcase some return on investment. So the company has partnered with a global electronics manufacturer who is building the company's BOTDA system hardware, right? So now you done secure some vendors, you got them locked in. That's pretty substantial, I think. The company closed agreements with several teaming partners to help expand the manufacturing and sales installation capabilities, right? The company has cleared all but 3 convertible notes and is negotiating raising funds from the non-toxic lenders. See, and this is from a direct release from them. So the company executed letters of intent to acquire 3 drone companies and expects to finalize these transactions in Q3. All right. So in addition, they have signed heads of terms agreements with AI companies Unleashed Live, which you know what that did for them. It's gonna give them that bundle play, that package bundle, you know. And the company's building an operational presence in Dubai. You know, looking at that, I think that's a great networking tool, if nothing else, because you know all of the leads, all the big players are passing in and out of Dubai. So what better place to have some sort of a presence if you're on that global market dynamic? So I think that's pretty good. The company has filed the S3, right, and then is in process of closing partnerships and joint venture relationships in multiple markets, right? Now, those markets, it's like it's everything. It's everything. And when you really get down to thinking about it, it's everything. And what I like is once they start to, not to say they haven't, but once they scale this into, you know how you got a T, right? You got the T knowledge structure, right? Okay, so they got a T with a couple other wells, right? But once they go into like scaling size and stuff, man, it's gonna be incredible because you're gonna think about everything that has failures. You know, you could eventually continuous base monitor that. Your microwave could come with a sensor that tells you when to expect its own failure, so you can prepare to have a new one. You see what I'm saying? Like this is deep. This is really just the beginning of something that could be incredibly huge. So anyway, I know you guys already know that. That's why you're here watching this. So let's get a couple more bullet points here for you. The company launched a new website and logo, right? And is in the process of creating new marketing materials for its service offerings. Okay, so they giving a refresh, revamped look. You know what I mean? They know their target, they know their destination, and now they can start to build that bridge to reach that point. You know, so the company has also scheduled a shareholder event for November 16th. Okay. Now, the plans for 2022, as you can see, I think I took this picture earlier, like right when I started. Then I prepared some information to share with y'all, and then the landscaping people was in the air, and it was just like I was like, nah, I'm not even gonna try to compete with that. So, it has gone up since then. Let's see where it's at now. It's with the delay, it's at a little over 12, 11, 1220 range right now currently, with the delay, of course. So, but earlier I was looking at it, and their plans for 2022 is going to be for the continued acquisition activities, right? And then also they're going to be building a cloud-based back-end solution, and as they describe it, it'll allow their customers' graphic user interface to be utilized anywhere in the world on any device, real time, right? So as for real time, like right now, this is where I was thinking. I drew these lines on here. If you've been following, you already know where we've been talking about this. I drew these green lines on there a couple days ago, and I've been watching the channel, and it's been holding in the channel pretty well. So I think between you know, by tomorrow AM, if not today, we're gonna see even despite today, we're gonna see like a huge surge in energy with it, right? And I think we're gonna wind up somewhere between between now and Thursday. I think it's safe to say it's really comfortable between 13 and 18 cents a share. You know what I mean? But you know how this go, anything possible, and but based on what I see, I think we're really comfortable between 13 and 18 cents. With this stuff going on, you gotta expect this to move in the future. And the question is how soon? Well, they expect. I like this because they got a new customer that they're trying to build these things for, or they're building these bundles to present to new customers, right? So their information says they expect in the latter half of 2021 to be better in terms of achieving revenue, with significant contract wins expected in Q4 2021, right? Within target market segments for infrastructure monitoring, including, this is where we were talking about earlier, what was those markets: high-speed rail, renewable energy, oil and gas, physical security, communications, and global AI-based security services. Okay? So they've been transferring, getting rid of a lot of their bad debt, paying it off with new, better term debt, and maybe paying off some of the debt also, right? So that's a good transition. They're moving that way. And they're expecting revenues in Q4, right? Pretty much. Okay? Because keep in mind, a lot of them, a lot of their team at the top, they're not getting salaries right now until they reach revenues. So they're highly motivated, if not just compassionate. You know what I mean? So now I found the stock, like I said, to be comfortable between 10 and 13 is what I meant to say earlier, based on my little view analysis of the recent history. So 10 cents and 13 cents. And I was saying I'd like to see a huge surge tomorrow AM, despite where we land today, that should push it, or could push it, up to 18 cents. So if we go back to my graph here after I just covered my notes, that's where we get the 10 to the 18. So really comfortable between 10 and 13. And let's keep the energy going tomorrow. Get it up to 18. And then we're on our way back to 20. But let's work on holding some 18, 16 and 18. Okay? Pasha Pyro, YNet7. Thank you for tuning. The replay, big board peps for my peeps.